embezzlement, insurance fraud, wire fraud.
Cammy's name is on everything.
Let's have some Bible.
Now, I know when it came down to Landman Season 2, Episode 5, I was excited. That promotional trailer that they just played looks great, doesn't it? Looks epic, looks fun, looks like there's going to be a bunch of shenanigans going on in this episode. Well, no, there's not. Tom is not going to be able to get a break from anything at this point. If it's not dealing with things with his daughter, with his father, with their usual shenanigans, him trying to come around with his boss now that he's not seeing eye to eye with. She thinks she can do whatever she wants now at this point. And yes, as the CEO of this company, yes, you do have a certain amount of power and a certain amount of rules. But when you have everyone in the room telling you that there's a problem, you should probably freaking listen. One of her biggest issues is that she is not over the sudden death of her husband. I know she's taking it very hard, but this bitch needs to learn that she has responsibilities, then she's still got to keep moving. As much as I love Taylor Sheridan and a lot of his work, this is going to be a filler episode. Tommy's still got to be dealing with Cooper in the contract, still got to deal with this big asshole right here. Speaking of big assholes, I had to finish up my Stranger Things review, so I know I'm late on this review, but I appreciate all of you still watching me along the way.
I don't like girls.
Send him 2-3 years, Dagestan, and forget.
But what we can't forget about here is still that Tommy's going to still be working in Cooper's corner, even though he understands that he really screwed up the pooch big time when it comes to his contract negotiations. He understands that he is still a father and still has to find ways to work with him and now with his boss also to get this money, but also help protect his freaking kid. Let me know in the comment section below, how do you think that this business deal is going to go down? She's trying to get a partnership across to get this $400 million. I just don't think it's going to work out right. Speaking of things that just seem to never work out right, this would not be a Landman episode if there was not going to be another family dinner. Yes, I can understand that these two definitely have a pirate theme set up for the dinner, but Jesus Christ, this is going to be one of the things that honestly I didn't like for the family dinner episodes. Usually Tommy just likes to stick his nose up and wasn't even going to entertain the idea of a pirate themed dinner, and he thought, no, this is not even going to be good. But honestly, we see some things about Tommy that still, he just decides to enjoy. These are some of the things that we never thought we were going to be seeing from Tommy Norris himself. Him enjoying family time, him, even though he does have his issues, he does love his family. His boss, that's a different story. She went from being a wife to the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar oil industry, and now she is not even listening to the guy who's been doing it for about 40 years. But fine there, sweetheart, if you want to try and give the guy who's head of the cartel right now $400 million to have him loan you that money and think that everything is going to be fine even after Tommy has warned you, go for it. I just don't think anything is going to be good at coming this. This was an episode full of meetings, and don't get me wrong, I know Taylor Sheridan does and can still do great work, but honestly, nothing really happened in this episode except meetings. Now, I'm not going to take a complete dump on this episode. There were some things that were just, I'll say for lack of a better word, nice. Tommy is learning, even though after everything he has been through with his father, that TL is still just trying to rekindle that magic he had with his son decades and decades ago that he lost after the tragic death of the mother. And also learning recently that it wasn't just his mother, that there was a young daughter as well. Tommy did have a little sister. Both TL and Tommy know that they need to take everything with their quote-unquote newfound relationship very soft and definitely with kid gloves. You're going to need a lot more and something a lot better with kid gloves when you find your father's going to be at a retirement home that he was pretty much forced in after hating his life only to be able to smile again. Yeah, alright, not bad. Meeting of the Minds is still going to be continuing in this episode, but what's drawing a lot of people towards Landman, and honestly I can understand, is Cooper, and with Cooper comes Ariana. Cooper is doing the old school thing, and honestly I think every man should do, you need to ask her father's permission first. Don't be a pussy, guys. This absolute Chad right here was already well aware of Cooper's proposal to his own daughter, and honestly wanted to see if he was just going to have the cajones to do it. Tommy has some big old cajones right here because he decides to leave Ariana a nice $200 tip. Well, bitch, if you're not going to take it, I will. Shit. But Tommy did do this because he wanted Ariana to know that he is looking out for her and is going to be having her best interests at hand, as well as his own son. Oh, look, these two are back at the old fuck's home again. Look, I get it. These two are trying to do something nice for old people, but now she even has to make it about herself. Anytime these guys go back to the old folks home, it just feels cheesy. It just feels corny. You could have taken the entire old folks home out of the entire season and nothing would have changed at all. The only old folks home that you should have went to is the one to go get TL. Everything that we're seeing about Landman season 2 so far seems to be a setup for the next episode, for a setup to a setup to a setup. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of things that I admire about Taylor Sheridan. He's done a lot of great things, and some of his work that I've seen is incredible. But Landman Season 2 seems to be struggling a little bit compared to Season 1. When it comes down to having a secondary season of a great Season 1 of almost any show or even sequel, it's generally not always going to be as good as the first one, and that's what we're seeing with Landman so far. Landman Season 2 is not shaping up to be as good as Landman Season 1, but we're not even halfway done or damn near close of what we're going to be seeing for the penultimate episode that's going to be coming from Landman. There's still much more to go. Am I still very optimistic about that show? Yes. Yes, I am. I still do very much enjoy it. Not every day is going to be a good day at the office. But if you enjoyed this Landman content and you enjoyed some of my other work, I greatly do appreciate it. If you enjoyed what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't enjoy it, I thank you all so much for watching. And as always, until we meet again.